When you bring a child into this world, what you're basically saying is that I'm okay with things that are happening in this world. I'm so okay with the things that are happening in this world that I'm willing to bring someone from non-existence into this world to experience the things that are happening here. I'm okay with racism. I know that my child might end up becoming a racist or being a victim of racism. I'm okay with that. I know that my child could end up being a killer or getting killed. I'm okay with that. I know that my child might end up being a rapist or getting raped. I'm okay with that. I know what you're thinking. There are a lot of good things that happen in this world. But what you're not realizing is that everything that you think is good is predicated upon something evil. For you to live like a king, someone has to live like a slave cleaning toilets. For you to be considered attractive, someone has to be considered ugly. For you to have a nice meal, an animal has to die. There isn't anything that is good about this world. If you don't see that, you're just not conscious enough to see that. But let me show you something. There was a time in the past where slavery was not bad. It was not a bad thing to own another human. There are a lot of things that are happening today that are actually wrong, but we don't see that these things are wrong because we are not focusing on seeing what makes these things wrong. Slave masters didn't care if they were hurting other people. They were focusing on reaping the benefits of slavery. They had people doing everything for them. They were raping women without consequences. Why would they care if what they are doing is hurting other people? They weren't focusing on seeing why that was wrong. There was a time when pedophilia was okay. A 50-year-old man could marry a 14-year-old girl without a problem. Society wasn't focusing on seeing why that was wrong. There was a time when women didn't have equal rights as men. Society wasn't focusing on seeing why that was wrong. We live in a world where there isn't anything that is right, but we choose to allow some wrongs to continue because if we're going to be honest with ourselves, nothing will continue in this world because everything is wrong. Every single thing that is happening in this world is wrong. There isn't anything that is right. Even being rich is wrong. I know what you're thinking. This guy is crazy. How can he say being rich is wrong? I gave you this example in one of my previous videos. I told you that when I was doing grade 12, they will give us apples. Sometimes they will count the number of the students in my class. I'm like, okay, there's 67 students, and they'll come with 67 apples. I'm like, yo, make sure that you share these apples. Make sure that each and every person gets an apple. But there will be people that will fight for those apples, so that they will have more apples than they should have. And if they have more apples than they should have, it means that some students will not get an apple. We are overworking ourselves trying to have everything. But by having everything, we are also taking from other people. But we think that that is okay. It's only when we focus on seeing what is wrong with doing certain things that we start hating people who do these things. Some of you have witnessed apartheid. Apartheid was okay at some point, and you've witnessed that. But we decided that it's not okay to mistreat a certain group of people. But it was okay. It is not okay because we focused on seeing what makes it not okay. It is not okay to drag someone out of non-existence to a world that is this sick. It is not okay. But we're not focusing on seeing why that is not okay. We bring people into this world without their consent. And we don't allow them to live joyfully, but we also don't allow them to die peacefully. We just bring them here so that they can suffer with us. That's what we're doing. And we don't even realize that that is exactly what we're doing. In this world, there isn't anything that is actually good. In order to survive, we must do things that are actually not good to one another. That's how survival works. Just look at how animals are living in the wild. That's how we're living as well. It's just that it's much harder to see it when you are not looking at it from a higher perspective. When you're just looking at it like any other human will look at it, you won't see just how messed up this world is. You won't see, what are the things that we're doing wrong. If you watch the movie Idiocracy is more like a documentary showing us how things are in this world. And when you're watching that movie, you actually realize that, man, this world is more messed up than I thought. Why? Because you are watching it. You're not like looking at it as a participant. You're not in the movie. So that's why you are able to see what's really happening. But if you were a character in that movie, you wouldn't really be able to see what the heck is going on. You just think, that is life. This world is truly sick, and there's nothing that is good. Everything about this world is actually wrong. It's just that you are not conscious enough to see that some things are wrong. You're not conscious enough to see that the way that we're treating animals is wrong. If some aliens came from another planet and told us that, yo, man, you mustn't treat animals the way that you're treating them. If we see a person killing an animal, we're going to punish them. You know what will happen? We will start to see how wrong it is to treat animals the way that we're treating them. Because we would have focused on seeing why that is wrong. You see? So if you don't see that it is wrong to treat animals the way that we're treating them, it's because you are not focusing on seeing that it is wrong. Just like slave masters weren't able to see that slavery was wrong. It's because they were not focusing on seeing that it was wrong. They were focusing on reaping the benefits of slavery.